Ariel Helwani for MMARated.com at the Elite XC post-fight press conference, and I'm being joined by Jared Shaw. Jared, a ton to talk to you about, but let's start at the top. Kimbo Slice loses to Seth Petrozelli. Is this your worst nightmare?
No, not at all. I think it's some people's dreams come true, maybe some Kimbo fans' nightmares. For me, it's just another day in the organization. Seth Petrozelli, he had the opportunity of a lifetime. It knocked, he answered it. Modern day Rocky Balboa, he's a very promotable guy. Everybody in this sport is promotable. Just because Kimbo Slice may have been at the top for us doesn't mean the whole time we weren't gathering all our other nuts. So now we have fantastic fighters, and we have plenty of stars up here, as you saw. Guys like Benji Radek had a tremendous knockout today. We have an incredibly deep 185-pound division, so obviously he'll be there. I'm not going to run down the thing yet. We'll talk about it, but on Petrozelli, he's a name now in the heavyweight division or in the light heavyweight division. He can fight in both, which is great for us because Rafael Feijão Calcante is there. Hey, I saw a guy in the audience today with some blonde hair. He's an interesting guy. And obviously Kimbo Slice is going to be back. Again, it's not something that I consider catastrophic. There are a lot of circumstances there, obviously. This is a guy taking a fight on basically 2 hours' notice, has never seen tape on the fighter before. So, hey, knockouts happen. I mean, that's what makes this game great. You know what I mean? Like, surprises every day.
Clear something up for me, because we were doing the live chat on MMARated.com, and people were saying that they saw you during the replay scream, "No." Is that true?
No,
I didn't see it, but clear something up.
What I went and said to the ref was they needed to look at the video, because from my eyesight, it looked like a second illegal blow to the head was the second punch. I just want fair mixed martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Either way, Seth Petrozelli, that first punch, that landed clear. That busted Kimbo Slice up. That dropped him. There's no in that. That's real. I'm happy Seth Petrozelli won. I just want to make sure we have the right decisions at all time. Again, I always say, like the last time I think when we spoke in July on a CBS, from a ref's point of view, you never know what's going on. The action is so quick. What I could say no or yes, and it doesn't matter because, hey, it's his decision. But I think the camp's going to review the tape anyway, and if they want to protest it, they'll protest it.
All right, and from a promoter standpoint, where do you go from here? Because obviously Kimbo Slice, he was your top dog. How do you kind of put him back there in the spotlight at the top and let fans know that this guy is legit and he's someone that we should consider a top heavyweight in the sport?
I mean, I think fans think he's legit anyway. He has that it factor, that mystique about him. There's no doubt he's a prolific puncher. What MMA champion you can point me to hasn't lost in the world? BJ Penn is the greatest fighter in the world, in my opinion, better than Fedor, and he has many losses. So losses happen, and Kimbo will be back. The thing Kimbo can learn from tonight is, not that he wasn't prepared for Seth Petrozelli, but hey, he can suffer a defeat and come back from it, and that's what he'll learn. And Kimbo Slice, you heard him up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, all MMA fans, it bothers me because I'm not sticking up for Kimbo. You guys should just really like him, because at the end of the day, Kimbo Slice thanked everybody up here and said it's Seth Petrozelli's time now. He didn't come in here and demand a rematch. He didn't talk about what we just talked about a second punch to the back of the head. He accepted his defeat. He shook the man's hand, and he thanked them all in front of you. If fans can't respect that out there, then I don't really know what fans want. But for us at Elite XC, there's only way to go is up. I mean, I thought this was a fantastic night of fights. Really did, top to bottom. Some of the greatest mixed martial artists in the world today fought on this card. The Jake Shields fight was tremendous. Arlovsky's fight was tremendous. The girl fighting should no longer be called girl fighting. It should just be called fighting. Because without a doubt, girls bring it, just like guys do. So to me, I thought this was a really successful night. And at the end of the day, we got another star. And maybe we got some drama there, I'm sure everybody wants to see a rematch with 6 weeks built up and see, hey, what was going on with Kimbo? I don't even know.
All right, let me quickly ask you, Ken Shamrock, are you still interested in having him be a part of your company? I mean, something like this happening at the last minute and almost blowing up the whole card. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's tough right now because, I'm honest. That's why I hope people understand that when I speak, it's always honesty. And with Ken Shamrock, I just don't really know right now if he found a way out or he actually had an accident happen. I mean,
do you believe that? Do you believe that he actually was trying to get out of the fight?
I'm just saying I don't know what to believe because I do know that there was a cut, a laceration. I do, yes, 100% over his left eye. I saw it with my own eyes. The commission came in and they definitely said we could not go with this fight. And that's what held us back from everybody for so long, the press. We were trying to figure out, hey, we hadn't seen Ken yet. Is the cut real? Is the psychological warfare against Kimbo? At the end of the day, the guy is a showman and a great fighter. So you never know what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, the laceration was there. They said there's no fight, but I didn't see how the laceration happened, and you got to take a fighter's word for it. To me, I don't know if all fighters fight and spar as hard as they, fight the same day. I spoke to Tito, and he told me he does. So I'm gonna side on, thinking that fighters do that. Maybe some don't, but for right now, I just don't really know what to think about that. I mean, there's some interesting fights out there for Ken, but we got to have Ken fight.
Any truth to the rumor that he asked for more money at the last minute to actually fight?
No, that definitely never happened. We never even had an opportunity, if that was a ploy, to even discuss it. It was literally, he came in, we ushered him right into a dressing room. The Florida Commission was right there. They took a look at him. He wanted to go. His personal doctor said it wasn't a go, who's a neurosurgeon. And the commissioner looked at him and said, I can't let this laceration go. And he was just defeated, and I walked out of the room. There's nothing to discuss.
Okay, final question. As I entered the press conference today, someone said to me, there is one very happy man in this world right now. I responded, Seth Petrozelli. He actually said Dana White. How do you respond to that?
I don't know what he could be happy about. I mean, this was a fantastic card. We're players, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my comments already on Dana, he wants to use derogatory remarks. He only makes himself look stupider.
All right. Well, a tough night for Elite XC. Kind of turned out interesting at the end of the day.
Not a tough night at all for Elite XC. Right. Maybe some tough situations to go, but at the end of the day, what I wish everyone would take away from this is we put on the event. We didn't send fans home packing. Kimbo didn't not fight. He didn't have to. We made it happen. And it was a great night of fights, and hopefully the ratings are great on CBS. I mean, you were in here with the attendance. You could talk to your fans. The attendance was fantastic. The pop was out there. I mean, I thought it was a really great fight. I don't think for a second it was a tough night for us. I just think it's another day in the promotional field of combat sports.
Thanks for the time, Jared.
Absolutely, Ariel.